it's not. And it's like they're coming from a like, oh, we need to give her grace because of her trauma and this and that. And like, no, like, I'm sorry about her trauma, but that doesn't mean you get to just do shit like this to people. You don't get to treat people all kinds of ways and lie on them about something like this just because you have trauma. You need to go to therapy and you need to get off of the show. Get off the show, go to therapy and deal with that. Like, that's crazy. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. There's no defense for it. Like, so you can even dislike Ubah if you want to, but you need to be like, yeah, Brynn was dead wrong for this. Period.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Bravo, We're Black. And today I am actually excited. I know that I gave you that nothing ass energy episode on Wednesday, but it was because I wanted to give you something and I wanted to talk about Young, Famous, and African. But today I literally have my motherfucking cousin, because I'm buzzing like my motherfucking cousin. I feel like Summer from Baddies right now, because that's like all we really talk about outside of Bravo in life is just Baddies. I have the incredible Raven from Bitch is Better podcast. Raven, how are you?
Oh, girl, I don't know. This has been a week. I don't know. Like I saw in a tweet. Yes. Like I saw in a tweet. For conversational purposes, I'm fine.
Exactly. Like, you just don't even want to get into it.
No need.
Well, we actually had already, if you guys didn't know, or if you don't follow us on Instagram, or if you don't pay attention like that, because I know sometimes I don't, me and Raven actually got together last night. I'm so proud of us, by the way. We got together last night and we went live after the Salt Lake City finale and Watch What Happens Live. And we just talked about any and everything, which obviously we're going to repeat some of our thoughts and we gathered some of our thoughts here today. But if you didn't, it's literally now on Raven's Patreon. So if y'all were watching it and it got deleted after the fact, like Kendrick was, it's because it's on Raven's Patreon exclusively. So go watch it because it was a really good conversation. And when we go live, we're going to let you guys know in advance for a little bit so you can come and you can chat and maybe you can join us on live one day. But it was just really fun. So, okay, out of all the things that aired this week, so we had Potomac, we had Married to Medicine, we had Salt Lake City reunion, but we also had Beverly Hills and we had Real Housewives of New York. What was your favorite and what was your least favorite? Because this is the Bravo episode, honey.
It was a trick question. Okay, so my least favorite was New York, of course, because it just was too much. I'm exhausted. My favorite was Married to Medicine because I thoroughly enjoyed seeing the co-chairs of the Med Gala just like talking shit about Heavenly, making jokes about not about Heavenly, about Phaedra and how she owes them $50,000 and how that man was like, I don't want the date with Phaedra anymore. I'm not giving you the $4,000. And then Toya with her silly Birkin baby shower party.
And she swore everyone thought up and down she was pregnant.
She's like, I've been working on it. Yeah, I haven't been drinking for 3 months. It's been happening for 3 months. Yes. She's like, it's so funny.
You have a wine club.
Everybody thinks I'm pregnant. Girl, nobody thinks that. Not one person. Even Heavenly was like, I don't know. Maybe she's adopting. Like, exactly. That would be it.
The shade that they freaking threw just at the pure thought of her being pregnant or having a baby.
They're like, no.
They're like, immaculate conception, maybe? Adoption? Surrogacy?
What is
like
it?
A stork dropped it off. Mm-hmm. But it was a Birkin. She was working for a Birkin.
No, she wasn't. Eugene was.
Well, as he should. His little bald head. Okay. Listen. I have grown to like Toya more than usual because you love Toya.
I love
actually.
her. She's so stupid.
I'm more of.
I mean that. I don't mean that in a derogatory way.
Just like funny, stupid.
Yeah,
you know,
silly.
like we're shady here. You already know. Like, please. But I feel like sometimes she annoys me.
Oh, yeah.
And this season, she hasn't annoyed me once. Like, even this, people were like, what? This is shameful. Like, why did you have a party for your birthday? I thought that this was funny. I like, what she had been doing all season. I feel like she's very rational. She seems to actually want to fix things with Quad. She, even though she was bossy during that country trip and the photo shoot that she had, she was like, what are you wearing? Hey, what are you wearing? Hey, what are you wearing? No. Like, it was just so funny. I've really come around to Toya this season, and I just can't wait to see more of her, and especially like what is going on with her and this whole Apollo thing, you know, like how this plays out, especially on
the trip.
The trip that comes at the end of the season. And Miss Quad, I don't know if you guys saw the clip, but we did share it, was on the Sherry show, and she was on there with her man King, and she explained, okay, Sherry was like, okay, you guys have a reunion coming up soon. What can we expect on the reunion? And Quad was like, a lot of things are happening. But, Sherry was like, I heard something happened between the cast. Like, you guys got rowdy or something like that. And Quad explained, she was like, oh, my ex-husband brought his wife, and now I'm in a relationship, so I brought my partner. So I wanted to see how people react to me bringing my man. And she was basically like, she basically said what I was thinking the whole time, that, how can I put this without, well, fuck some tea, she ain't doing nothing. Quad's ex-husband, aka Greg, she was basically like, he's obsessed with me, and my man had to handle that. And they got into it. Oh. They got into it. And I was just like, oh God, they can never make me hate Miss Quad, she got it.
Me either, because she got it. Okay,
she does. She just does.
Can't wait.
And King was in the audience. King was in the audience, and
I did.
Yeah, he was just sitting there. And Sherry asked, she was like, "Oh, do you guys have the picture of him?" And it was like a picture of him, and all his abs were glistening. And everybody was like, his towel was wrapped around. Yeah. And Sherry was like, "Woo, can you recreate that?" And then I was looking at the print, child. So, it was a good time. So I love to see Quad on. I love to see Quad on bigger, on bigger things. I love that she was on the Sherry shows. So it was a good interview. I'm gonna watch the full episode later because I DVR Sherry's show, and I do actually watch it. So y'all.
Why are you saying it like
now? Because
I've never watched it.
Exactly. This is exactly why I'm saying it. I don't. But you know what? To be fair, I have watched more of the Sherry show than I have the Jennifer Hudson show, and I only watched the tunnel walks to the Jennifer Hudson show. Because that's
I no
shade to Jennifer Hudson.
Watch Jennifer Hudson. Right.
Wait.
But I followed her page so that I can see the tunnel walk specifically, but I don't need to see anything beyond that. No. I
also have beef with Jennifer Hudson for turning off the comments to the Aaron Pierre, that's Mufasa video. And I obviously think it's because we got a little bit too rowdy under there, but it's like, well, what the hell? That's great engagement for your page. You knew what you were doing when you had him walk down the hallway. this is a fine man. Like, let women be feral. Like, let women be horny beasts, because men do it every day in real life. Don't turn off your comments. So the funniest thing is, like, the next video is, I think it's like Joe Manganiello or whatever, and they're like, why are the comments off for the Aaron Pierre video? So people are leaving their comments for Aaron Pierre on the next video.
On that one. I want to know what he thinks about all of this. I really do. Like, that's crazy.
He knows what he's
This
doing.
must have been some crazy X-rated comments for them to be like, okay, y'all did way too much. You don't know how to act, so now I have to take your commenting privileges away. Okay? Not them
But that
commenting
was
on the next
ridiculous. Just that's what you have a social media manager for. If it's too much, you have them delete it or you have them restricted. You can go on Instagram and you restrict certain words. Like, I'm a social media manager, and part of that is being a community manager. So your community manager is not community managing, honey. If y'all gotta turn the comments off, like, that enrages me for
Good
some
point.
reason.
Good. Because you couldn't leave your... What comment? Yours was probably the one where they were like, you know what? Shut this shit off. Shut it off right now.
I won't say what I said, but I know that what I liked. And the number one comment was, raw, next question. Like, listen.
Oh,
That's Mufasa, baby.
Pierre.
That's Mufasa.
It is.
Okay, but yeah, so Married to Medicine has just been such a delight. It's been good all season. It's good every season. But you can tell that Phaedra is getting, pissed off with these women. And these women are just not letting up on Phaedra. They're like, you're going to work for this check.
When she was like, oh, I'm so busy. Oh, I'm in California. I'm going to the award show. I got to get ready for the award show in California. What do you need?
Like, stop
so
talking
stupid.
to me right now. So funny. We have gathered. Okay, let's just touch on New York. Let's just touch on New York, and we'll touch on Salt Lake City, because honestly there wasn't a lot to talk about with Salt Lake City.
Yeah. Because
with you, I can actually talk about something that I don't talk about on the main podcast a lot, because some people watch it, some people don't, like Southern Charm, Southern Hospitality. Mm-hmm. It's been fun. So let's get New York and Salt Lake City and Beverly Hills out of the way first.
Okay.
Brynn.
Yes.
I don't know if I'm disappointed. I don't know how to feel, because obviously I just want to start this off. I 100% believe that she was, trigger warning, sexually assaulted.
Of course.
It may have happened multiple times, I understand that she has a lot of trauma.
Yeah.
But the way that you deal with things and the way that other people deal with things are completely different. And sometimes you have to meet them in the middle. If you guys haven't been watching Real Housewives of New York, I don't blame you. A lot of people tapped out episodes and episodes ago, but some people came back in just to watch the finale. What happened was Brynn and Ubah had been going back and forth all season, and people have been on Ubah's ass. And I understand, because Ubah has really big reactions to everyone. Like, it could be Aaron, it could be Brynn, whatever it is. When Ubah is pissed off, she is pissed off, and she wants to make her point, and she wants to make sure that she speaks or whatever. But in this particular situation, Brynn and Ubah were going at it, and it started on the last episode. I felt like they were in Puerto Rico for like 7 episodes for some reason, but it started on the last episode.
They were,
Ubah,
actually.
Yeah. Yeah, like it's crazy. It was too long, way too long. And Ubah basically said, in a heated moment, if you slept with someone to get this job, I don't know. So for some reason, Aaron bucks up after getting hyped up by Brynn, who she half of the time fucks with and half of the time doesn't fuck with.
Right.
She tells Ubah, like, oh, you can't say that she slept with someone to get the job. And, I'm going to say, it's fucked up to insinuate that. But if you have been watching the show, every other thing that comes out of Brynn's mouth is a sex joke. So I'm not saying I'm not saying that it's true or anything, but I didn't think that she would be so offended by this. So before this happened, say it about yourself. Brynn was in the hot tub. They got into it again, and Brynn decides to say, oh, maybe I should, go and suck a dick and be done with it. I don't know. She says, maybe I should go put a dick in my mouth.
Yes.
Okay. And then Ubah gets confronted by Aaron for saying, insinuating that she got the job sexually. And Ubah is like, you know what? I'll just apologize to the bitch. She goes to apologize to Brynn, and Brynn is like, no, I want you to say, I apologize for saying that I sucked dick for the job. Ubah goes off because it's like, that's not what I said. That's what you said. That's something that you brought up. You're putting words into my mouth. So you know what? Fuck this and fuck your apology, because I'm not about to say that.
I'm not saying that because I didn't say that. So no.
Exactly. And you can't bend someone, to apologize for something that they didn't say, and also to admit that they said something that they didn't say. Like, a part of sex, yeah, sometimes it is sucking dick, but that's not just sex. Like, hello, did you listen to what she actually said? Like, damn. Anyways, so it just escalates the whole night. They go back and forth, basically, and cameras stop rolling before cameras stop rolling, they all have a conversation where Brynn plays the victim, and she's like, can a Black woman be successful? Why does it mean that I slept with someone? And I told Ubah that I was sexually assaulted before BravoCon last year, and she brought that up. So everyone all of a sudden is just against Ubah and thinks that it's really fucked up that Ubah would say that, knowing that she had been sexually assaulted. The camera stopped rolling. Ubah gets told by Jessel, who I feel like was the realest bitch there.
She absolutely, because what if she never said anything?
Right. Like, we would just think that Ubah is just this terrible person, and she would have to defend herself at the reunion, and by that time, it's too late.
Exactly.
So Jessel tells her off camera, and Ubah is upset. Like, of course she's upset, to the point where she's like crying and throwing up, because she's like, I didn't know that happened to her. One, she didn't tell me. Two, and three, if she did tell me, I would never say that. And four, how is this going to look when this episode comes out and I'm looking like this, I'm looking crazy, and I said this about this woman, and people are already going to be feeling a certain way about me because of the way that this season played out. So it gets very emotional. She tells Raquel and Jenna, she's like, I swear to Allah, may God strike my first child down, or God strike me down if I said that, because she was genuinely like, which obviously that was a strong reaction, like, because I'm never going to say that. But, we just watched Traitors, where Bob the drag queen was like,
that's so true. He's like,
I swear to God.
I don't believe in God.
I don't believe in God.
Right.
Yeah, but God got your ass up out the house. So, but anyways, this is not Traitors. So, Brynn decides, like, okay, maybe she didn't clock it. She tells the girls, because Ubah and Jessel get moved to a hotel because Ubah was upset. So she tells the girls, maybe Ubah didn't clock what she was trying to say. And she's not really sure if Ubah knew. And then the girls are like, wow, so you literally just put that accusation out there, on top of the fact that you've been lying for 2 seasons now for no fucking reason. then the next day comes and she doesn't want to stay, but she's joking with producers. She's talking about horseback riding, talking about her day, and just being fine. And Sai is like, is this bitch for real? Sai is like the only one that's like, wrong with her? What?
Yeah.
Exactly. So she ends up leaving the trip early. Ubah and Jessel get back to the house. They tell her what is what. And Ubah is like, because she didn't tell me that. Or if she did, I did not hear that, because I would never say that about a person who just, trusted me with that very serious information. They skip to the photo shoot for, the teaser shoot for the Real Housewives of New York. And Brynn comes in hella late. Ubah's there and she's just like, I don't want to talk to her. Brynn is late and she is acting like, right. Brynn is late and she's acting like, regular, but she's like, oh, why are we all acting, fine when I'm like basically dying inside? I can't believe that happened. And I'm just like, what the fuck? What did I just watch? When they said it was dark, I'm like, well, what could be dark? Because they said that about Beverly Hills before. They said that about Salt Lake City before. Everything. But yeah, but this was truly dark.
Right.
Now, the jury on social media, I'm so glad. I think it's about like 70% Ubah, 30% Brynn. But I just don't understand where the 30% feel as though in this episode, Brynn could have been right in any way, shape, or form, because that is not something that you can play around with.
No, it's not. And it's like they're coming from a like, oh, we need to give her grace because of her trauma and this and that. And like, no, like, I'm sorry about her trauma, but that doesn't mean you get to just do shit like this to people. You don't get to treat people all kinds of ways and lie on them about something like this just because you have trauma. You need to go to therapy and you need to get off of this show. Get off the show, go to therapy and deal with that. Like, that's crazy. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. There's no defense for it. Like, so you can even dislike Ubah if you want to, but you need to be like, yeah, Brynn was dead wrong for this. Period. Like, what? Something else is going on if you're still defending Brynn. The fact that I saw people being like, oh, well, why would Ubah go running down the hallway and screaming that Brynn's a bitch and this and that? She should have pulled her to the side privately and been like, did you say that? Bitch. If somebody accuses me of saying like, oh, you sleep with people to get here for work, but I know that you've been assaulted, you're attacking my character in a crazy way. So my reaction is not going to be great. And that is not my problem. Don't stop acting, stop it with the bad behavior. I'm going to react however I feel like it. Well, it's just like, Aaron and Sai were telling Ubah, they were like, just stop reacting to her. Just don't. No, fuck that. No. Why do I have to tell her to stop? Tell her to stop.
With this, it's 100% Brynn. Because, all season I'm just like, okay, sometimes Ubah, she, like, even though I understand why she snaps on them, because it's like, hey, you're not being real. I'm the only one being fucking real here. But with this, the big reaction, I don't care if she called her everything but the son of God. It's because she knows how this, not just how this looks, but how this feels. Like, are you serious? You're going to tell people that I know that you were sexually assaulted when I genuinely did not know?
Right. How could you do that to me? And that is so low.
And be okay with it. Yeah. And be okay with it. And then also, I think what it was is that I don't think necessarily that Brynn didn't tell her. I think that she doesn't remember if, basically she doesn't remember if Ubah acknowledged it, but she thought that she did, so she brought that up. But that's not something that you can bring up if the person didn't 100% respond and talk to you about that. Like, this is something serious. And then for you to come in the room, and she loves it. We already see it ourselves when she puts on the baby voice and she does all this cutesy things. And it's like, girl, you are 37, 38, 39.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay to be a baby for, your man, or, and maybe in real life or whatever. But when it comes to you lying on people and saying that they knew that you were sexually assaulted, you can't just curl up in a ball like a little child wanting validation and then casually admit, maybe she didn't clock it. Not clocking it? Like, that's really not something that someone should have to clock when you just used it against them. That's something that it sounds like you guys spoke in detail about.
Right.
And you already put that out into the universe.
So you can't
because people were already going off on Ubah, the audience, which I understand, because it's like, oh my God, like, you would say that and she was, sexually assaulted. Like, Ubah
that would be
was already getting so much backlash.
Yeah.
So if this didn't happen, we would have never fucking known until the reunion. And then the reunion would be way too late. And even now, she's still just talking about how everything's pretty much fine. And Aaron had to come out and say, girl, I have not talked to you since the reunion. I like a sister. She said,
not me, honey. Don't tell those people I'm your sister. I don't even talk to you. No.
She said, I don't know you.
I don't know her.
Like, who are you?
Yeah, Brynn said
Meghan Markle? Oh.
Brynn said a whole lot, but still no apology. Still no accountability. None of that. And that whole interview. So it's like, well, you could have kept this, You could have left that in the draft.
It made her look worse, if anything.
100%. And I don't know how and I just know at the reunion, it's not going to be, she's still not going to apologize or anything. It's going to be a bunch more of that shit. I can't
even if Jenna Lyons is the only one who, well, not the only one, but she is one of the people who will still baby Brynn until the last minute, like even on the show, like when it happened. But if she is telling Brynn that is enough on the trailer, you know that she's really not taking any accountability if Jenna Lyons has to tell you no. Right. Because you're absolutely right. Trash.
If no one else is going to keep defending Brynn, it's going to be Jenna. And she was like, no, stop it. Just stop it. Shut up.
Yes.
Like, that's crazy, Brynn. You pissed Jenna off? Ooh, you done fucked up now.
Yeah.
Because Brynn, and I don't blame Jenna. You had her over there crying for you. Like, those women went through a true roller coaster of emotions. Like, she's like, this happened, and Ubah knew. They're like, oh my God, so sorry that happened to you, and I can't believe Ubah would do that. And Ubah's like, what, bitch? I didn't say that. And they're like, what? Now sad for Ubah. Now they're mad at Brynn. Everybody's confused. Like, it's a lot for one night. I could not imagine. I'd be like, I actually have to go to bed. I don't want to be a part of this. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I would definitely turn into Meredith Marks and disengage because at this point, it's none of my business. So
no, I gotta get
you know
out of
what?
here.
Y'all got it. Mm-hmm. Y'all got it. Maybe this is not for me. But anyways, okay, speaking of Meredith Marks, the Salt Lake City reunion aired last night. And I guess the big highlight was that Bronwyn apparently did not buy that necklace, but it bought a smaller version of the necklace, and Lisa basically outed Emma,
this is the biggest
girl. Yeah. That's all I got from part one. Like, that's what happened.
No, same.
And they are still talking about it to this day that we're recording this, and I haven't really been keeping up with it, but I will say that Lisa is wrong for outing Emma because, girl, she might be out of a job. But the rest,
she absolutely is out of a job. Emma's looking. So if somebody has a job for her, reach out to Emma with one M. She don't have a job anymore. You can't
And
be
it's
telling
not
people's
funny.
business like that. Yes, it is.
It's not
because
funny.
why did you do that?
But
that was really silly, Emma.
when you have to make a point, you have to make a point. Because when you have to make a point, you have
She
to make
was
a point.
so
Like,
mad.
No, look, this is Emma. Read. Emma said that you did not buy that shit at all, and she was annoyed. And she said your breath stank. Like, read the messages. So it was just like a lot.
She was like, "There's a lot more in there, Andy. Did you read it? Did you read it?" Andy was like, I'm like, "Damn, what did it say? Let me know."
Because at this point, Emma's job is already done with. Like, I need to know.
Yeah, who cares? Emma said, you got me fucked up. I thought I was getting that commission, and then you didn't buy it. I had already spent that money. And you see, Emma, that's why you don't do that. So now you're out that commission,
sales,
and you don't have a job.
Luxury sales, you cannot do that, girl. If you was working at maybe like Jared's or K Jewelers, sure. But when you got a $4 million like a necklace on the line, I mean, please. I thought that it was definitely very broke bitch Bronwyn to, now admit that she didn't buy that. But, that's a conversation for another day.
You said brokey.
Me and my broken, my broken Shein necklace, like
my Amazon earrings.
Like,
yeah.
She got a smaller one. She got a $2 million one. Embarrassing.
If you're broke, just say that. Yeah.
I'm sorry, y'all. You know how petty I can be. Okay, Beverly Hills. There's also only one thing that really brought me to confusion, which was why Kyle thought that everyone should be ashamed of themselves because she had to show the text.
That is confusing. You make a good point. Why am I ashamed now? Because you are stupid for thinking you read that text and that was going to be the only time that those texts were going to be presented. Girl, you brought this to the group. You know you're going to have to read it again. Everybody has to hear the texts, period. Okay? Don't be silly.
I can't do this. PK texts her.
And she texts him. It's not just memes and jokes either. Her lying ass. Well, obviously, over 10 years of friendship, it's going to be more than memes and jokes. Oh! Well, that's funny because you were swearing.
Not obviously.
No, you were swearing up and down. That's all it was. So why would that be obvious to me? You lie. Lying liar.
Thank you. Because what do you mean obvious? No, it was not obvious. And then, I didn't even see one meme. All I saw was paragraphs. Like, what? Is that considered a meme? Like, what are you talking about?
Are you confused, Kyle? That's not what a meme is, honey. You're not that old.
Like, go and ask Portia what a meme is.
She can explain it to you.
But okay, so are you ashamed of yourself, or do you think that they should be ashamed of themselves that she had to show the text?
No, what a stupid thing to say. Nobody should be ashamed. Nobody thinks that except for Erika's ass, where she's like, you need a warrant for that. You don't get to just read the texts like this. That is illegal. Like, Erika, shut up.
I hate that she's like, I was married to a lawyer, and everything that looks like it is not really what it is. So I don't. There's two sides of the story.
Like, Erika,
and you know what? I'm just gonna remove myself from the friendship. I'm gonna remove myself from both of you guys.
But no, you're not. No,
What
you're
the
not.
fuck?
Because you're on Kyle's side, and this makes it clear right here. So don't say that. But no, nobody should be. Kyle's the only person that should be ashamed because she was lying and she got caught, and that's why she was crying and running away.
Crying.
She showed her ass.
I've never seen a grown one.
She showed her ass at that spa day in front of the manly hands. Have some class, you know?
No, that was really ghetto.
It was.
That was really, especially after almost lunging at Dorit and Dorit almost lunging at her.
Woo!
Like, they need to go to, like, that's just extremely ghetto.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do that where I'm from.
No, absolutely not.
Too much. We're ladies of a certain age, certainly, too. Like, we just don't do that where I'm from. But imagine if that's how they responded on Salt Lake City when they were like, show your meanest text. I would expect people to run, cry, and throw up, because I would have to run, cry, and throw up if I had to show my meanest text on TV, but not if I'm texting my homegirl's husband. Yeah, like I would act like that if y'all locked me in a room and was like, yeah, you can't go until you show your meanest text. Like, I would start crying and throwing up too, and you should be ashamed of yourself for making me do this.
Right. Because I'm not showing you that. I'm not doing that. No. So like Garcelle said, yeah, you looking real guilty because you are on 10 and everybody else is down here at like a 3. And Kyle's the one screaming like, it doesn't have to be all of this. Like, no, it doesn't. Shh, calm down. This is a Serenity Day. What is wrong with you?
So I've been seeing an article, and I never clicked the link, but it says this is why Kyle Richards decided to take a break while filming Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Do you think that this is where she takes her quote unquote break?
What does that even mean? She's taking a break. What? Like
during filming, I guess she didn't film. Like, that's what I'm interpreting it as. During filming, she took a break from filming. So do you think that it comes after this, like, breakdown, this meltdown that she did? Do you think that she kind of, like, I know that she already apologized to the ladies, but do you think that she was just like, yeah, I definitely wowed out for that, so let me go take a break?
She said, let me get out of here. Take a little break, and hopefully everyone will forget, and then I'll come back in a week, and we will reassess the situation then, right? She's like, surely something else will happen by then. Girl, no. You know what show you're on? We don't have nothing else to talk about.
And honestly, even if they did, if I was the I'd be like, yeah, so about the Texas, let's pull them right back out, because
I'm not going to forget. We didn't resolve it. Yeah. Because I know you was talking shit about me because PK is messy and he told me. So, you still sitting up here lying in my face. What is wrong with you, Kyle? You need to be ashamed of yourself.
Exactly. I can't deal with her. Let's just tap on Southern hospitality, because I'm going to actually have you on my Patreon where we can talk about Southern Charm.
Good.
But Southern hospitality has been so good. I just noticed that there are like at least 128 people in the cast when I was watching another show and they showed the cast. I was like, is this like Baddies Caribbean, where they just had
oh my God, yes.
3 billion people on the cast? Like, at one point they're gonna need like a cap cut intro, like Aaron says. What are you enjoying about Southern hospitality this season? And do you think that Joe is this faithful king? Are you a fan of Maddi and Joe together?
No, Maddi and Joe, that is not real. She doesn't like him. I'm sorry. She broke up with Trevor after the thing, or he broke up with her, whatever. And after the reunion, Maddi was like, I got to get something going for next season. Joe, get over here. And she started making out with him, and here we are, right? And it's like, this, you don't even like him. When they were at the beach with her parents, their parents are like, oh, thank God, with Joe, he's so nice. And Joe loves them. He's like, yeah, I want to like propose in a year. Maddi was like, what? Why would you do that?
And start a family.
Wait a minute. She's like, whoa. This whole thing has really gotten away from me. I don't want to do that with you. Okay? No. Everybody just calm down. So, I mean, it's funny to watch Trevor, her pretending.
She would literally be so happy that he said that, because when they went to that was that a NASCAR race? I don't know what it was, but
yes.
They went somewhere with Trevor, and she was like all over him. She wanted him to say the things that Joe Bradley was saying, but when it came to Joe Bradley, she was like, "Wait, I've only known you 9 years. Like, stop calling me your girlfriend." Basically.
Right? Because she said Trevor was her big love. girl, you don't get too many of those. And Joe is just, she's like, yeah, we're dating, I guess. I'm just
like, he likes me,
he's not
you know?
serious. Yeah,
That's
he's
me when I'm
obsessed
bored.
with me. He's never gonna do anything to me, so it's fine. I'm enjoying. Oh my god, that TJ and Joe, it was not just a cuddle. I'm sorry, they definitely made out at least, right?
I think it was. I think that something happened.
I don't think they had sex, but I think they kissed. It was definitely like something like that. And for the fact that we have not heard about this until now is crazy. And that he was like, oh yeah, like I'm in love with you. What? So it just all makes so much sense.
This is what Joe Bradley gives me. Joe Bradley does not give me homophobe. He gives me one of those guys who will be like, oh, I let a guy suck my dick, so it's not gay. Mm-hmm. And then when like they bring up like, hey, I sucked your dick, he's like, what? Keep that gay shit away from me. And it's like wait a minute, what? That technically is gay. That is gay. But yeah. I'm not saying that Joe is gay. I'm just saying that that's what he gives me, and I'm completely surprised by what happened. Like that is. In the way that TJ was able to keep that a secret, even when they asked him about it,
still didn't.
He was like, "Hey, you know what? Let Joe tell the story."
That's why I think it was more. He was like, "I'll let him tell whatever he's comfortable sharing," and that's how you know he really is in love with him. He is like, I don't want to hurt him or anything like that, but that's also why he's like, I want Joe to feel this pain for me. I want him to feel this loss. I don't want him to sleep. I want him to sweat. Like, I don't think he's doing that, though. Unfortunately. You're in love with him. He's not in love with you.
It really... I feel like something definitely more than just a snuggle happened. But even if it was just a snuggle, if you are sleeping with someone in general... You know the difference between a boy and a girl. And you know who you went to bed with. Even if you were drunk.
Yes, you know who's in there with you. That's not a thing.
You know that it's not a girl. So stop lying.
Please.
Be who you are.
I don't know.
Like, it's weird. So I think that this changes the perspective, because I know that in the previews, they made it seem like TJ's messy. I will.
Oh, yes.
Like, I'm 100%. TJ is messy. But in the previews, they made it seem like TJ was just going around making gay allegations against Joe Bradley for no reason. When he had a whole ass reason, and maybe more, that we haven't heard about just yet.
Right, which is what makes me wonder, when he was going around and being like, hey, Joe Bradley, gay, people weren't like, why are you saying that? You know, like, what's the tea? And they were just like, oh, okay, yeah, spread it around. Like, no, I got questions. So that's why I'm just shocked. Like, how did this happen? And for 3 years?
Honestly,
that's crazy.
Honestly, I'm kind of glad that they waited until 3 years, because I feel like maybe they're like, bitch, if we get a third season, we'll come back to it. Like, I will hang it over production. Like Miss Bronwyn, who's trying to call shots in Salt Lake City on her first season. No, we got to get 3 seasons in, then I'll start giving you the good shit.
Yes.
Like, I'll tell you about that night in 3 years when we're on our 3rd season. And that's why I feel like Emmy is also going to eventually leave Will. I think it might take till the 4th season, though. Do you think that Emmy's going to leave Will, or do you think that she's going to stay with him? Because I feel like once she realizes that she has a hit show on her hands, she doesn't need to be like the lawyer wife anymore. Like, I feel like she needs that awakening. Because if a man is going up and down King Street telling everyone who will listen that he hates you,
it's crazy. It's crazy.
That's your op.
He is. You like, and I know he said it to her. I know she has heard it. That is the crazy part. So like, I hope she leaves him. I would love to see that. I would love to see a breakup between the two of them on here. and then he's like off at law school and then he comes to visit and it's like a thing, you know? Yeah, I need that.
Yeah.
Get away from him, Emmy. You're a star. You are a star,
Literally.
bitch. Look at you. This is what I get.
That fucking breakdown. That breakdown, I was like, what is wrong with her? But then after Monday, that's how I felt. After Monday, I felt myself being exactly like Emmy. Like, I was about to pass the fuck out. Like, what? What?
Yeah.
I didn't care where I was. Like, I was hanging out with my friend's birthday was Monday, and I just saw some of the things that were happening in DC, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. This is ridiculous. This is a bullshit. Yeah. It happens. It happens.
Things out and all.
Yeah. You know?
But child, okay, well, thank you so much for coming to the main podcast. You know, everyone loves when it's you, when it's Kendrick, when it's Ryan. Like, those are the top 3 people that everyone always suggests.
Thank you, guys.
I will have you back, very soon. But I want you guys to go over to the Patreon because we are going to continue our conversation for a little bit.
Yes,
but
come on.
Please tell the people what you got going on.
What I got going on, the podcast, I'm dropping episodes left, right, and center. This is like 3 episodes this week. I'm on one, okay? So
I'm loving it.
Listen to Bitches Better anywhere you get your podcasts. My Patreon, patreon.com/bitchesbetter. I put videos on there, extended episodes, the IG live that we did last night. And follow me on Instagram and Threads at Bitches Better Podcast.
Yes, and rate her 5 stars everywhere. Spotify,
please. I would love that.
Apple, because that really helps us, rank and stuff. Okay. So love y'all. I'll be back on Wednesday with some pop culture. I might bring a guest or I might come solo. Either way, there will be a guest for next Saturday's episode. So I hope that y'all have a good weekend. Bye.